Hello and welcome back to the finish line and our 1,000 and 2,000 Irish Guineas preview. Right, before we get on to it, we have a little competition we're going to run for Royal Ascot next week. So it's going to be on Wattsapp, and there's going to be a first prize of €100, second prize 50, third 30, fourth 20 and five 10. So the way it's going to work, there's going to be a link in the description to the Wattsapp group. It's €10 per entry, and you get one pick on every race, and you get points for first, second, third or fourth. More or less, the more points you accumulate, the higher you're going to be in the ladder. And we're going to take part as well. So we have the added temptation of beating me, Tom and Dave.
And we have two very good accountants keeping track of all the scores.
We do.
Don't we, Tom?
Tom's keep...
And George, my friend George.
Anyway, I keep track of the money, I think.
So there's going to be a link if you want to enter in the WhatsApp group that Tom is going to deal with that side of the money side of everything. So loads of swindling going on there.
Comment below, is it? If you wanna join us.
No, it's the link to the WhatsApp is going to be in the description. So just click on that or go on to any of our social media outlets and it'll be all on that.
Is there a time that they've a cut off to?
It's going to be. It's all the rules, regulations, and so on are going to be in the WhatsApp group. So once you go into that, you'll see everything, what needs to be done, and like the time your selections will have to be in at 9 o'clock the day before the racing.
What's the prizes again?
First prize 100, second prize 50, third prize 30, fourth 20, fifth 10. And you're throwing in.
I'll throw in a €50 betting voucher for the winner as well from OLR Fitness.
Offsetting your accounting profits, Dave. I like it.
See, I told you we have very good accountants in charge of this. Are we capping the number? We don't want to make too hard on George and Tom now with the maths.
That's their job. They should be good at it.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, so link will be in the description, and then everything you need to know will be in that WhatsApp group. And now, Tom, over to you. Syndicate time.
Second bit of plug-in. I know this is the first time we mentioned it here. We've had a bit of chat about it in the WhatsApp group. But, something that I spoke about on the podcast a good few times, and I've spoken with a lot of people about, I've wanted to do it for ages, is to set up a syndicate for our island. I think there's a massive gap in the market for a really well-run syndicate. I think Supreme Racing definitely left a gap there after what they did. I just think
it's because they're all in jail.
What's that, Dave?
It's because they're all in jail.
Yeah, well they should be, but I just think that it kind of pushed me that there should be someone out there running a really well put together, honest and open syndicate, you know? Just good fun, gives you a proper chance at ownership in horses, and also gets you together as a group of people and racing fans. So we're setting one up. We're looking at having two horses. I'm going to run it with a friend of mine who already runs a syndicate in the UK. So we are very, very close to finalising stuff. The two horses we're looking at buying are a 3-year-old unbroken National Hunt horse, because we think that market's going to be a bit down this year, so we might get a bit of value, and a yearling. So that, for people who don't know, is a 1-year-old unbroken flat horse. Hopefully that will be dual purpose. So, you know, I think we're going to give everyone a good chance. Shares are going to start at 2.5%. The reason we're doing that is because, you know, you've got your syndicates with 5,000 members, and what I don't like about that is you have to ballot to get to an owner's day, you have to ballot to get tickets to the races. The way we're going to do it, you're going to be guaranteed to go to every owner's day, guaranteed to be in the parade ring to watch your horse run, and guaranteed to come on all the other extra days out. We're going to go and visit the National Stud, we're going to have a day out at the Dublin Racing Festival, a bit of hospitality, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a really fun syndicate, and you're going to own a fair share in the horse at the same time, and it's going to be affordable, and it's going to be open and honest. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And we're in it as well. We're after getting shares. Myself and Dave are committed.
I tell you, Tom, I have some hopes for this now.
I'm thinking try and Purdle.
If you don't find the next caution, Tom, I swear to God, there's going to be war.
it'd be nice. I was just looking back at some horses the other day, though, and
don't be pessimistic.
funny.
Don't be pessimistic like you usually are about this as well. Like,
No,
keep the optimism. Yeah.
I want to hear we have a real chance of winning at the Cheltenham Festival.
We're winning the Spring Juvenile Hurdle and then straight to the Triumph Hurdle. Win the Triumph Hurdle, and then we're going to decide if we're going to sell him or keep him for the Champion Hurdle.
So your expectations aren't too high then, Dave?
Oh, they're massive, Tom. They're massive.
It's realistic.
This is what we were made for. This is the break that we were waiting for. We were just waiting for you to come along, Tom, and sort all this out because me and Andrew are too lazy.
But we're gonna just to say, like, there'll be a lot more details on where the trains are going to go to, where the horses are going to go to. We're just finalising, but they're both top 5 trainers in Ireland that we're looking at. And this will totally give it away now. But I was looking at how much a couple of mares cost because we might buy a mare to go jumping. And Honeysuckle actually cost $9,500 as a 3-year-old.
Can we buy her now?
And Put the Kettle On only cost $22,000 as a 3-year-old. Both Cheltenham Festival winners this year, so it can be done. It definitely can be done. We're going to look to spend around $15,000 on each horse, I think. So it's a fair budget. The market should be good this year with the whole coronavirus stuff. So we're looking forward to it.
I can't wait now.
It's going to be good, Tom.
Just get the right horse, Tom. That's all I say.
No pressure.
You've two shots at it, so you surely one of them.
Surely one of them, yeah. And they're going to top trainers, so I think that's important. But
are you allowed to mention the trainers yet?
No. We need to confirm everything. But we're 99% certain that's what's happening. But if you're interested, I'll put my email down in the box below, so you can see it and drop me an email on it. And
like he's more or less told us the trainers. We're not going to say it, but they're Cheltenham Festival winning trainers.
Yeah, as I said, top 5 national hunt and top 5.
I was going to say a race there, but
Two good trainers. Eh?
We're not messing around.
I might like one more than the other.
Surprise! That gave it away anyway.
Right. I'll come back with more details on the show anyway when we're fully up and running. But if you want details privately, give me a message and we'll go from there.
Like, it's going to be a good crack. We're all going to be in it. There's going to be golf days. There's going to be, as you said, away days. You're not just getting a horse. You're getting an experience.
Anybody expecting me to be at a golf day, I won't be there.
You can carry my bag.
I don't play golf.
You can carry my bag.
Don't have the patience for golf. I play fitness. I don't play golf.
But as we were talking in our WhatsApp group, for what is like we all like a bet, and like the lads we talk to in our WhatsApp group like a bet. For a realistically small amount of money per week, I think you'll be able to get involved in this. As I said, there's going to be a maximum of there's a maximum of 40, but we've got a few people who want like 10% shares. So we're saying really there's probably going to be a maximum of 20 people in it. So it's not a mass syndicate. You're going to have a proper involvement. It's not dirt cheap, as in it's not 50 quid for a year, but it won't be too dear either. So
you'll actually have the feeling that you actually own the horse.
Exactly. But like that's the thing, that any events that we put on the calendar, you don't have to go, I'll apply to be involved in this. You know you're coming. You own a proper part of the horse. It's not a lease. It's you actually own the horse as well. So if we sell it, you're getting your money's worth.
Do you know what I just realised?
What?
This is great now. You're going to like this. Right? Every time we go to Punchestown, Tom, and I'm not mentioning the hotel because Andrew probably give out to me because we'll get slated, but we have to always... Can I mention it?
Wait, what are you going... I'll say it first. Say what you're going to say first. And say. If they're going to give us free rooms, then yeah, go for it.
We go every year. Obviously, we didn't go this year because of coronavirus, but it would have happened again. We rock up there on Wednesday morning at 11:30, and we're after sending 75 fucking emails saying...
We're not allowed to curse. Tom's parents are around.
Saying... I could go off on a wicked rant here now.
Look, the moral of the story is I lose my rag at the reception because the room's not ready, and I ask for an early check-in. They say, grand. Andrew loses it.
Andrew loses the rag. We're sitting there. We have to get a point. You have to get a point and wait, which is grand. Like, drinking is grand at that stage. You're going to Punchestown. But then this fella in a suit rocks up that owns a horse and has an owner's badge. Oh, straight up to his room. What's the story with that? I guarantee you, if we own a horse, we'd be going straight up to the room.
There you go, lads. Owners badges and everything. Yeah, it's like, as I was saying, like, I know you've been involved in horse, Andrew, as well. But like I've been lucky enough to be involved in a couple of them, and a couple of them won. But even just owning them, like the experience is unbelievable. You get to go to the yard, and these yards that we're going to be going to, we're going to be seeing top Group 1 flat horses, Cheltenham Festival winners, all of that and the like, and our horse is going to be there as well. And then you get the excitement of your days out that we're going to do with a group of people that are really interested in horses. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and let's hope we can find a good horse, but I'm pretty sure we can.
I think we sold the balls out of that there. I think that was like a Dragon's Den pitch.
That's a good pitch, Tom.
It's just it's really exciting and it's fun, and I've wanted to do it for years, but what really pushed me to do it was that Syndicate being absolute dogs and folding. So that made me do it, because people deserve better than that. So.
That's true. Well said, Tom.
We believe in you, Tom. We might not say it that often, but we do.
I was going to say, you don't say that too often, hold it.
We like it, kind of, sometimes. Right, we kick on. We'll have a look back at last week. So we start 2,000 guineas. What do we make of Kameko? Did
Pinatubo.
Did it Pinatubo? Did Pinatubo train on? I had to say that for Kubo. I had to say that for him. You can put that on his answer machine now.
Look, he's just small. Like we all three of us said it. He was probably the most likely winner. I think I was more against him than the 2E maybe. I was
against who?
Pinatubo.
I couldn't have him any day of the week. I said it.
It was hard to figure out which one was going to beat him, because there was some big horses, but I think Kameko won fairly well. He looks like further will suit him. The time was very fast.
Track record.
But all the times were pretty fast all week.
He went on some rant over the weekend about that track.
It's definitely to do with not being raced on for so long or something, and the weather and all that. But I think he's a sprinter. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw our friend Emma Kennedy put something on Twitter of a poll of has he not trained on, is he a sprinter, and something else. And I was looking for a fourth option, because I think it's a bit too early to tell. Like, they're all going to have needed the run, surely. So you can't say he might not. He might come on for it. It's too early to say he hasn't trained on. He's finished third. He hasn't bummed out completely.
Yeah, I don't think you can say he hasn't trained on, because he still beat the horses he beat last year quite convincingly. But it's just the 2 3-year-old improvers that beat him fair and square.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. I thought he was the most likely winner, and yeah, I stand by that. I still thought he was. But he was always going to be open to a horse who was going to improve from 2 to 3, because there probably wasn't that much scope for him to improve. And Kameko has gone and done that, and he's done it very well. He's run really, really well, to be fair to him. Wichita has run well as well. And the one I was mentioning before for the Derby was Military March. He's run a nice race for the Derby, I think. All hope is not lost.
He reminds me of Too Darn Hot.
Pinatubo.
Yeah, Too Darn Hot was just, he's physically so far ahead of the others when he was winning his races at 2, winning the Dewhurst and the likes of that, and he came back then. Yeah, I think he obviously missed the Guineas, but he got bet in the St. James's Palace, and he got bet in another race here or there, and then won a couple of grade 1s. I actually do think Pinatubo will probably win a grade 1 this year, but he was so far ahead of the others last year physically, and he's not as big as some of the others, so he didn't have a whole lot of growing to do. I don't think you could say he didn't train on, because he came third in a pretty decent Guineas. So and the reason I think he's a sprinter is because he travelled really, really well. About halfway the 4 furlong pole, he got kind of a nudge, but it was only to keep his position. He came straight back on the bridle, and then to me he got outstayed by 2 other horses. Then
you can even say, I don't know if you can, but that the track didn't really suit him, because his worst performance, his not most impressive win last year was at Newmarket. I'd like to see him back on a track like the Cora or somewhere like that, where he has shown his explosiveness. I won't give up on him whatsoever.
He won a couple of races 7 furlongs last year. All right, it's hard to say then he's a sprinter, but he's a really explosive turn of foot that was like, really apparent last year. I'd give him a go with 6 furlongs anyway.
Yeah. Right, on to the 1,000 and your girlfriend one.
I love Aidan O'Brien fillies. I used to love Minding, love Found. I think this is the new favourite.
Your new
now.
love.
My new love. Love is my new love. Yeah, I just said last week in the podcast I thought it was between her and Quadrilateral, and it wouldn't really bother me if an O'Brien filly was beaten in a race or 2 races, because he's just so good at training them, and he can turn the corner with him. Then a year or more on her back, she was miles by miles the best on Sunday, or was it Sunday? Sunday. She was by miles the best. 4.5 odd lengths she won. She could have won by more.
I think she possibly miles best 3-year-old, like proper filly. She could go on and win the Oaks now in a canter. By the way she won that,
she's very short for the Oaks, 6-4, 11-8. But like the way she won it, a lot of those horses are going to go against her in the Oaks. You'd imagine Quadrilateral is going against her. I couldn't see her return the form around again.
Like there's rarely a time I see Ryan Moore like be so positive about a horse. Yeah. He was asked, will she act around Epsom? If you act around Newmarket, you're going to act around Epsom. I've no doubts that she is a worthy favourite for the Oaks.
They both said she's an Oaks filly, and they thought she was an Oaks filly all along as well. I think the Guineas is like a stepping stone for the Oaks. And Ryan literally said they were majorly surprised she didn't win the Fillies Mile last year. He said in the race, we expected that performance last October, so it's no real surprise that she did it today.
What did you make of Millile? She ran a strange race.
I wouldn't say she didn't stay, because she didn't really run a race. She ran a race for 4 furlongs and then fell apart.
Yeah, very odd run. One thing I'd say about her is I didn't realise how small she was. She is an absolute pony.
Yeah,
she's very small, Tom.
An absolute pony. So again, don't be surprised if she hasn't got the come on for the runs from 2 to 3. But she ran an odd race again. Not one I'd write off, but not one I'm rushing to back again. So.
I think the same can apply to Quadrilateral. She ran with the choke out most of the way, and
she needs to learn to settle.
Yeah.
The problem with her, right, is that they put a tongue tie on her, and the way she carried her head in the final few furlongs. You can often do it. Often riding horses at home, if they have problems breathing, they panic. So it's like I remember riding horses up a hill gallop, and they'd just jump off of the bottom, and they'd get from the bottom to the top like on one breath basically, because they can't breathe, and they're keen and they're horrible because they just don't know how to relax and breathe. So I think if she had a wind up, she may even take one run after a wind up to settle, and if they could get her to settle then and relax, and she learns that she can actually breathe, I think she could still be very good. She'd no right to finish where she did.
No, not after the way she ran.
How keen she was, and then her head carriage, putting her head out and her kind of a nose out like she couldn't breathe. She'd absolutely no right whatsoever to finish where she did. So.
Yeah, she's one to keep on the right side of.
I think she's some ability though.
Yeah.
Do you know what? A lot of Frankels. I know what you're saying about camp not breathing properly, Tom. But a lot of Frankels, he's producing kind of the same type of running style that he had early in his career in some of the fillies and colts that he ends up siring. They're really keen, and they're just not as good as, obviously not going to be as good as he is. Like, he was able to run that keen and still win races, and he learned to settle towards the end of his 3-year-old career and 4-year-old career, and he actually, I think his best performance was in the Queen Anne when he was a 4-year-old, because he settled and then kicked off from settling. But like, she ran the other day the way he tried to win the Guineas, and did win the Guineas. Yeah. And there's no way she has the same ability as he has. And if you watch some of the decent horses he's producing some good horses, but some of them really are really keen, try to win from the front, they can't be settled, and they actually become better horses as they're kind of later 3-year-olds. So I think she'll probably be better as a 4-year-old and maybe later on in the year.
Yeah, I still think she's very, very good. I don't think the other performance we saw was Gaia. Jesus, lads.
Monster, Dave. Monster.
We still have that bet, Tom. We still have that bet.
I can't believe you don't think he's good.
I do think he's good. I never said he wasn't good. See, this is the point.
Good,
you don't get.
but he's top class.
You're taking him. He's like the next coming of Jesus. I still tell you, Tom, he won't win another race this season.
He absolutely
He'll probably go to Dubai or something and win over there. But
them.
he won't.
I told you what. I think I told you what I backed him for in the group. I backed him for the Arc. I think he was 25s or 33s, which was just too big, really. He may not win an Arc, but 25 to 1 was an insult considering what was near him in the market. But
he won't win an Arc. He won't win the Prince of Wales. He won't win not.
He'll definitely win another race.
He's
an absolute monster of a horse.
Like, why can't you see him win another race?
Because of the way the track rode all last week, like.
Yeah, he does that.
He does that.
I know. He's a front runner. He's a front runner, and the track literally played to every strength he had. I totally agree. He was probably going too fast, but he was never coming back. He was never coming back. From 2 furlongs, the race was over. And there was a good few races actually went that way over the course of the 4 days. You could literally tell the horses that weren't coming back.
Yeah, but you can even see with his running style. It's like goshing.
The wind was like a rocket up his arse.
But it's the same with the rest of them. They just couldn't keep up with him. If they went after him after 2 furlongs to try to get up his arse, they would have died a slow death. He would have won by.
Yeah.
He would have won.
He'd have won by further if they went with him.
He'd be crossing the line and they'd be crossing the bushes, wherever the bushes are in Newmarket.
Yeah, he was impressive. I like it.
And then you had a nice little one with Misriff in the.
Yeah, he won well actually. He was I like the horse you fancied, that Volcanig or whatever his name is.
Fall, I don't know what I'm doing, Connick.
Yeah, he got backed as if defeat was out of the question, got his job. And you just, I don't know, I had to take him on. And luckily the one I took him on with ran well and won. He's interesting if they take him to France or something. I think on a sound surface he's quite a nice horse. Just
goes to show this so early in the season that experience counts for a lot, especially around Newmarket and places like that.
I think we probably seen the Derby winner over the weekend as well, and I'll say that
Derby and Oaks,
and it's not going to be an Aidan O'Brien horse. And we saw 4 horses that could win the Derby. English King, the one that you keep talking up, the Godolphin horse, Military March. Kameko, or John Goslin's horse, Palace Pier.
Palace Pier was very impressive. The way he picked up after being off the bridle.
Is he a bit of a quicker horse though? Would he stay?
I don't know, Tom. I think he
came off the bridle.
I think he stays well and has a really good turn of foot.
Yeah.
He has a turn of foot like his Sawyer has, Kingman. He was very, very impressive.
I like him.
And English King was very impressive as well.
Yeah, he done that well.
Derby if they all turn up.
If all 4 of those turn up, and I'm sure Aidan will have 2 or 3 in it as well, it will be actually one of the best derbies for a long time.
Yeah.
Right, we kick on to the Guineas.
Go for it.
Right, Irish Guineas. Mark it as it is. Siskin.
Well done.
Thank you.
Wait till he tries to pronounce this one in a minute.
Which one?
Go on. Armory.
Armory 9-2. Fadigan City.
Now try and pronounce this one.
Loopy Fernandez.
Loopy Fernandez.
Loopy. Loopy Fernandez. It was close.
Yeah, you are.
Royal Lytham at 10s and 12-1 for me to bounce the mic off Dave's head.
He came to the Harzan colours. You know all the funny names.
I have not tried to pronounce that. And he wouldn't even try
to pronounce it.
Cinnamon. Oh yeah.
Cinnamon. That's easy enough.
And then Fiscal Rules 16s and Monaco Vija 20s and 25-1 bigger the rest. Who wants to take it?
I don't like this race at all.
I've fallen on Armory.
I don't think Siskin will stay a mile. So it kind of forces me to back something else, but I literally don't know what to back.
I've come on 2.
There's a bit of money on that Lopi Fernandez. He was 12-1 yesterday. He's significantly shorter today.
Jamie Heffernan's riding him, that's why.
Oh, is it?
So that would kind of tell you that they probably think he's the better horse of Aidan's. But I don't know. I'd say if I had to choose one, I'd choose Vatican City. To me, he's the one that will progress most by breeding.
I'm down between Armory and Fiscal Rules of...
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Jim Bulger wins.
Jim Bulger's... Look at this fella shaking his head. Go on.
Fucking robbed it on me.
Yes!
I think he's good each way price, isn't he? For Jim Bolger's a good trainer.
16-1. He was a head beaten by Witcher on his maiden, and then Witcher goes and finishes second in the Guineas, and Tom's soul has just left his body because I've taken this thunder.
Do you know what? Do you know what? As well, if he gets back Friday evening,
He's been back from 25s already.
In itself, he won a listed race yesterday with a horse, Jim Bulger, second time running, and they backed it from 20s into 8s, and he just got up on the line betting Aidan O'Brien horse.
Like, his horses are always forward at this time of the year, and you can see yesterday that the more forward they are, the more likely you're going to win. Same, Aidan's horse are forward to some extent, but you even see him with the Derby trial yesterday. They don't really know their pecking order yet. Yeah. Because
that's the same every year, yeah.
So I'm willing to take 16s on fiscal rules. Tom?
My take on it is I don't know, I had a look at this race. Siskin is like, I really, really like him, and it would be good to see someone like Jer Lyons like break into the Group 1 scene. You know, he's been a very good trainer for a long time now, and he's got a lot of support, and he's got a really good horse here. His form, you can knock his form, is the only thing. He could go and win. He's a bit like Pinatubo. He could go and win, and I wouldn't be surprised at all about it. The mile is a slight question mark, and you can knock his form on the fact of Monarch of Egypt is the horse he beat twice, and I'd say Monarch of Egypt is a long way down the pecking order of Doyle of the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so as much as I don't want to knock Siskin, I wish he went down in the stalls today in Newmarket. They brought him over, and I think he was about 4-1, 9-2 for the Middle Park Stakes, which Earthlight ran in, and Lope Fernandez ran in as well. And it's a shame he didn't get a run in that, because we'd have had a better idea of his ability there. But he could definitely go and win it. I wouldn't knock him, but I looked at the ones against him. Then Vatican City won a maiden at Dundalk. The horse he bet, I actually backed it the other day. Syke won. Syke was second. Abiona was third. Abiona was terrible the other day. So that's got a question mark over it. Royal Living has been beaten by Siskin, and I don't like Ballydoyle horses in classic races with blinkers on them, as we discussed the other day, Andrew. That left me coming down on Armory or Fiscal Rules is another one. Armory, danced every dance last year, and some of the top races as a 2-year-old, probably has that scope to come on as a 3-year-old. He was put in his place by Pinatubo, but that was no shame last year. Bombed out on his last start, but was third before that in Group 1 in France. Alston was second, Victor Ladoran won, and Ecrivan was fourth. So that's pretty strong form, as we've seen in France now this season. He was by Galileo. The Dam has a bit of speed. She was placed in 6th furlong and 7th furlong group races. So Armory, I'm surprised Shamey's not riding him, but Wayne Lorden is on him, so that probably makes him the second string, but I don't mind that at all. And the other one then was Fiscal Rules. Only had one run in his life 294 days ago. Second behind Wichita, the Curragh. Now, obviously Wichita's come on and been very good. They were a length and a half clear of the rest of them. The rest of them are useless. So that's one thing to take into account. He's by a horse called Make Believe, who won the French Guineas and the Le Forêt over there over 7 furlongs. Out of a Galileo mare, though, and his half-sister won 2 listed races and a group race over 1 mile 4 and 1 mile 6. So he's definitely going to appreciate the step up to a mile, and he may even want further. But there's still plenty of speed in him. Just the fact that Jim Bolger's pitching him in here first time out into the Guineas, I'd be happy enough 16-1 each way. He might run a good race.
Yeah, I agree with that. Money's come from already. Yeah,
I agree. Like I said, it's very hard to choose one. So if I was advising, I'd probably say look outside and probably agree with the two of you. The reason it's very hard to choose an Aidan O'Brien horse, again, kind of touching on why I don't think he'll win the Derby. I don't think he has a top class colt bar Wichita this year. I think they're all much of a muchness. They'll win a few races here and there. And I'm fairly sure on a normal year, Wichita would have gone to the 2,000 guineas at Newmarket and then came back and tried to win the 2,000 guineas here. He's clearly their best colt. So I think the other ones, the way the year has fallen, are kind of after runs here. Armory probably end up being the best, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aidan doesn't win this and it goes to an outsider.
Yeah, I am happy enough to pin my mass to Jim Boulder's horse. Name's gone at me here. Fiscal Rules.
I take Fiscal Rules and Armory. I want Armory on side, definitely for a place at least as well. So Fiscal Rules and Armory for me.
Same. You?
Then outsider, probably Fiscal Rules, and I'd probably go with Tom. If I had to choose Aidan's, I'd probably choose Armory.
We're all on the same horses. Poor horses. Right, on to fillies. 1,000 guineas. Betting is Alvina is 7-4, Peaceful 7-2, Fancy Blue 11-2, Alpine Star apparently is some running is 6s.
Oaks winner.
So Wonderful 13-2 and 14-1. Bigger the rest. I do not like this in the slightest. Anybody?
I was kind of. I'll be honest. I was wondering. I was looking forward to Alpine Star running. I really like her. She ran in one of the same races that Love ran in last year. I think Donegal might win this with Fancy Blue.
That's who I have down. Just on the fact of my loads of knowledge that his father gave it to him. That's the only reason.
Yeah. Won 2 nice races last year. Albigna is a nice horse. Jesse has some lovely horses. But I said it months and months going on. The best horse Jesse has is Alpine Star, and she's keeping her for the Oaks. 100%. So
yeah, I look again. This is a wide open race. Albigna has the 2-year-old form, but we'll have to see if she comes on. Peaceful as well has good form, bolted up at Fairless before being second over in England. I decided then to look a bit further down the market because I'm not overly keen on either of them, and the one I landed on was New York Girl for Joseph O'Brien.
Yeah.
Went back and watched her races. She was 4th first time out. Had plenty to do and got blocks in her run. The 3rd came out and won its maiden. The 5th has won a Group 3 and the 7th has won a Group 3. So that was a strong race, and you could argue that she was the best horse in it. She then came out and won a Group 3 herself on her next start. She did very, very well to win that. She got the second horse came across her, and it took her back a bit. She had to be snatched up, and the 2 in front then got a few lengths on her, and she managed to go and catch them. Which you'll watch at a furlong out, and you don't think she's ever going to catch them. That was over 7. The step up to a mile is definitely going to suit. I'm pretty keen on her actually. The form, she's got a form line through Fancy Blue with a horse called A New Dawn, who seemed to be placed in every good fillies race last year. Another horse of Joseph's. New York Girl beat her in a Group 3 in Ireland on her second start, and I'd say she's a fair bit better. Fancy Blue beat her as well in a Group 3, but only just got up and took an age to get going, wanted to go out left, and I just think New York Girl, she might be one to surprise a few. She's clearly got ability. She ran to a race post rating of 105 on her second start, so she's, I'm just looking at it now, she's 14-1 and Fancy Blue is 5-1, so I'll take a chance. She's been sold over the winter as well to new owners, so I imagine she's changed hands for a lot of money.
Can't knock that. I looked at this race for about 20 minutes, and I just couldn't make head nor tails of it. I've no real strong view on it.
I was going to have a nice bet on Alpine Star, but by all accounts she's not running, so I sided with Fancy Blue.
This is the most uninspiring race that we've ever tipped up in our life. Bar Tom.
To be honest, they're not the best races, and that's probably the way things have fallen this year, with the races being a week after the English Guineas. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Would you be surprised if the two favourites end up winning and people haven't backed in a double? No. Would you be surprised if two outsiders win at 16-1? No. So it is what it is, really, isn't it?
That's true.
That's the same as me. Like, you know, the favourites are pretty short, and I was keen. The one favourite I was keen on was called Quadrilateral. I think she's stacks of ability, but other than that, I'm happy to take all these favourites on. To be honest.
Yeah, I'll go Fancy Blue. I'll go Fancy Blue.
It comes down to like what Tom said. Like, I'd prefer to have €5 or €10 each way on something 10 or 16-1 than have 10 on either of the favourites. So
New York girl at 14s. I'm happy with a $5 each way on her. Yeah.
Fancy Blue 11-2.
Fancy Blue.
Right. Do ye fancy anything else over the weekend before we get on to your eye catcher, Tom?
Haven't looked, to be honest. Haven't looked yet.
I've won in the Premier Handicap for Aidan McGuinness. Burrowman.
Oh, you're gonna rob my horse again. That was the only other one I've actually had looked.
No way.
He just said he had none. Like.
I don't know. You might not have the same one, because he's got two of them in it, and
I have the one that is very good on the all weather, £6 lower on turf. He's 10-1.
Go on, you shout with your one.
Yeah, £6 lower mark on turf. He's been very progressive on the all weather. He needs to transfer it over to the turf, obviously, but he's around 10-12-1, and in a big open handicap, he gets 6-7 places. I like his progressive profile, and I will be happy to back him each way in that.
What's his name?
Burrowman.
Yeah, we're okay then. I've gone for another one.
Okay.
Current opinion is it has a very good chance, and his favourite could be a group horse in a handicap. But another Ado McGuinness horse there called Sultan Stall. Doesn't win probably as many races as he should, but has been very competitive in these big handicap races before. He was second in this race in 2018 for Mick Hanford. He's won off a mark of 98 in a handicap. He's off 97. Gavin Ryan, very good claim. It takes off £5. The day he was second in this, it was off a break. I'm hoping that he's fresh and ready to rock. And yeah, he's 20-1, and I think that's probably too big. I'll take a little chance on him.
I've one I'm looking forward to seeing run. I don't know whether it'll be a backable price, but I liked him last year. Lancaster House, Aidan O'Brien, 4-year-old colt. I think it's fairly interesting. They've kept him in training. He went off favourite every run last year, and he didn't run well towards the end of the year. I think it was Irish Champions weekend in the Boomerang Stakes. Is it the Boomerang? I think that's what it's called. But he reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the horse a couple of years ago, Tom, Await the Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
He was very late starting, and then they kept him as a 4-year-old as well. He's entered in the Gladness Stakes on Saturday, but he also entered in the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot. So whether he runs the weekend or next week, I'd reckon he'd probably be a decent price in the Queen Anne. If he is, I'll back him there. If not, I'll just probably watch him on Saturday.
So there's 3 horses for you. What's yours again, Tom?
Sultan Stall.
Mine
in
is
Lincolnshire. In the Lincoln. Yeah.
Burrowman in the same race, and yours is
Lancaster House.
Right, as is customary, Tom with his eye catchers for the week.
I know a few lads got on. I know it's hard to get on at overnight prices, but a few lads got on Ennis Diamond, who ran on Tuesday at 4s. She went as short as 8-11, and she drifted back out and she won. So that was nice to get one of these up. She's a nice filly. Edward Hopper was the other one from last week. Ran a lovely race yesterday. Just isn't up to that level at the minute, I don't think. But he drops back to a maiden. He's an absolute steering job. 2 of them. I'll put up the one that Dave isn't going to abuse me about first. The first one's a filly of Ger Lyons called Peace Charter. She ran in she ran the Group 3 yesterday at Leopardstown. She got absolutely no run whatsoever. And when a little gap opened, like within the last furlong, she stayed on and quick and clear. Like I'm pretty sure she would definitely have won. I think she finished 5th. She won. She won on her debut actually last year. She beat So Wonderful. I love how Dave's laughing at me. He's just waiting.
Because you're so optimistic about these shite horses, and like they don't win, and you're just so sure they would have win, and you're so optimistic, and I love the optimism, and then you're just such a pessimist in real life. It's the maddest thing ever. Like,
but this one's brutal.
It's so true though.
Go on, keep going.
This Billy Peace Charter, she won on debut. She beat So Wonderful on her debut. She was then 2nd in a Group 3 and then 3rd in Group 2 behind Albigna. She top class form. She is definitely at least a Grade 3 horse, if not a little bit more. If they run her in a Group 3, I think she'll win next time, definitely. Now the next one.
I tried to hold a straight face already.
The next one. I don't understand why you're knocking him. But I know you don't like the trainer. But anyway, leave me tell you about him first. A horse that ran at Nice on Monday called Benevente.
Buttermilk.
He was in the maiden where fucking the
He's gone. He's gone.
Finished 3rd. This lad finished 7th, I think, something like that.
7th or 8th, yeah.
7th or 8th, yeah. And he ran a lovely race, right? So he was out the back. He was literally, I think, last turning in and down the back. And then he asked to quicken, and the horse had no idea what to do, really. He had no idea what to do, and he was following the horse that came 3rd. As the penny has dropped and he's learned what to do, he's quickened up lovely under hands and heels. I think he got one flick of the stick, but
educational,
right? Yeah, but he finished 7th.
Handicap job.
He could have finished further if he knew what he was doing a bit more. He's going to come on for the run massively. Now, what interests me about him is he's a big horse, so he will come on for it, I think. And he's a half brother to a horse called Emirates Flyer, who was rated 107. So he's a really good pedigree to go with it. I think that was quite a good race at Nice. He only cost 30 grand as a yearling. He was actually really well bought, I think, for that money.
Do not buy one like that.
Who trained Emirates Fleur?
Now you got me. I think
Do you know?
It was. I think so. Hang on. I know who it was. Dolphin Horse, is it?
Roger Varian, maybe?
Yeah, Dolphin Horse. That's why I'm looking, because it was one or the two.
Who?
What is it? Hang on.
What was that?
It doesn't say. It says who it was owned by. Saeed bin Saror. I knew it was a Dolphin Horse. I didn't know which one trained it, but Saeed bin Saror trained it anyway, right? So Richard O'Brien trains this.
I was waiting for...
But this is why you want to look for these horses, because everyone's going to. The horse who finished 3rd, everyone is going to back that next time out, and it's going to go off a well over bet, because of who it's owned by and who it's trained by. This horse has got loads of ability, lads, and it may not be next time he's winning, but there's definitely a race in him, and a good race too. I reckon he's a fairly decent horse.
See, it's like I said to you the other day, right? It's not the fact. Like, I reckon he'll win a race. There's no doubt he'll win a race. But it's not going to be in the next 2 months when we made the bet for. Because we made a bet for he has to win a race by August 9th.
No, you said the end of August.
No, August 9th. I gave it 2 months.
I remember seeing a date.
2 months. He ran on June 9th, so you've till August 9th.
We should not give him to the end of the month.
Could have been 8th, but we'll give you the 9th. No, I will not.
Why not?
Do you know? And you know what it is? He'll run again in the maiden and won't win, and then he'll run again and won't win, and you'll see him in November in Dundalk.
There you go.
And that's when he'll win.
This horse is better than Dundalk. I guarantee you. He's better than the handicap.
He has Dundalk Friday night, few pound for Christmas.
Friday night lights.
Over. Back from 20s into 7-2 on Dundalk and Greyhounds after and everything, and greyhounds will be backed and everything, the whole lot, like.
Battleground is the horse that finished 5th, which was the eye catcher for Aidan O'Brien. This horse followed him through, but like Battleground is going to go off a really short price for a maiden next time out, and this horse is not too far behind him. Tell you.
I'd say by the end of their careers there'll be about £30 in the difference between those horses.
Oh, it's so true.
Battleground rated 122 and Buttermilk rated
22.
77.
I was going to say I'd take 90 something.
I had one, but I had to lose in the paper. I had it down. There's a Mark Johnson horse that ran a Haydock. I'll get it for the next video. Yeah, that it? Nap?
It's very hard this weekend. My nap is
Fiscal rule each way.
yeah, go on, fiscal rules each way. It is very hard this weekend.
New York Girl each way.
Next best.
Salt on Stall each way in the handicap.
Next best for me is hope that Lancaster House runs in the Queen Anne and back him then.
Oh. My next best is Burrowman in the Lincoln as well. And speaking of Queen Anne and Royal Ascot, we will be recording our Royal Ascot preview tomorrow evening, and I would hope to have it up tomorrow night at some stage. So, yeah, tune in again for that tomorrow. Anything else before I say bye-bye?
Should do it live.
No.
No chance.
No.
Imagine the kids running in and everything. I'll be bedlam in here.
That involves a lot of technical stuff that are just not in the oven for a night time.
In the good something to look forward to that. I know they're not the best of races, but the Guineas on Friday night and Saturday night. It's kind of a cool time for them to be on. Like,
Yeah,
it's good.
Cool time.
It is. It's good. ITV have the Guineas and all Saturday night. I think.
How do they? RT have it?
They have a couple of races at Newbury or Newmarket, and then they've the Guineas as well.
Oh, that's good. Right.
Yeah. Well, if that's us, don't forget. I'll put my email in the description below. Hit me up if you want more information about Syndicate.
Yeah. All the stuff you need to know about Tom's Syndicate will be, as he said. I'll have a little section alone for Tom's, and then everything for the Royal Ascot tip will be in the same place. So that's it. We will be back tomorrow. Well, depending on when you're watching this, on Thursday with our Royal Ascot preview. So again, thanks for watching, lads, and give us a like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.